Good evening, my dear friends, and thank you for watching this recording of our midnight soiree where we come together in the name of love. And those who've not logged in, you're more than welcome. So let us begin by inviting you to light a candle for peace. If ever there was a time in the history of mankind, today is a time for praying for peace, and especially for the Peace Summit in Geneva, inviting the wise to come together and try and resolve the conflicts in Syria. So tonight I would like to dedicate this midnight soiree for an end to the conflicts in Syria, where over 100,000 innocent men, women and children have been slaughtered needlessly because of factions within the Sunni and Shiite communities. So we light our light in the name of our beloved Father, Mother God, who creates life, in the name of the risen cosmic Christ, who loves life, in the name of the Spirit, who is the fire of life, in the name of Gaia, our beloved Earth Mother, who nurtures the divine in all life, and in the name of all faith traditions, including the Sunni and Shiite, members of the Muslim community, who are the children of the one true loving God, our brothers and our sisters. And in the name of spiritual diversity, on behalf of all my brothers and sisters of the Teo community of Interfaith Franciscans, I, Brother Sean, welcome you to this table of love. A table where we give of our life for peace, equality, justice, compassion, and where we embrace the marginalized in our society with love. So let us just relax for a moment. Let us be still, come back to our heart. And we begin by just relaxing our mind, our body and our spirit, so often tested by the trials of each day, disappointments, noisy, angry neighbors, family and friends who may disappoint us, even hurt us. Let us just empty our mind by taking a deep, non-labored in-breath, and hold that breath, and now release any stressors to Mother Earth, and just relax. Be still in the presence of your God and feel safe, loved, respected, cared for. Be still now and just relax in the presence of love. And now connect to the rhythm of your own breathing and feel the love of Gaia hovering over your feet, releasing a blessing to you, a blessing from the earth, a gift from the nature spirit and the animal kingdom, who seek to want to work with you, to walk with you, to be a part of your journey as a pilgrim in search of truth, divine truth. Forgive me, I hit the wrong button. Rather loud. It woke me up because it's just gone midnight here in the UK. And as we relax, we sense the inner peace, the joy, the love, the tenderness coming from an Earth Mother who invites us to work with her. She trusts us, but she's wary of mankind in general, especially those who abuse the sacredness of this landscape, who abuse and misuse the gifts of God and the Goddess to our hearts, who interfere with the ecosystem, who try to be clever. Excuse me. Gaia wishes to bless us as an act of thanksgiving for our selfless efforts in bringing peace, harmony, justice, equilibrium from our monasteries without walls, where we live that simple life, trusting in a God of peace. So let us unite around this table and take our rightful place as a beloved of God and the Goddess. And now let us relax and sense the peace and the love of all that is sacred to you. Be still. Be still in this sacred moment, in this precious moment. And as we relax, we celebrate our divinity as a child of love, a child of God, a child of peace. Excuse me, and I'd like to begin by sharing with you a beautiful prayer by M.N. Dalla. My life of the Spirit is impoverished when I neglect communing with Thee. A tense silence holds between me and Thee. When I cease to meet Thee and confer with Thee, my spiritual vision is blurred. I cannot feel Thy presence. I cannot see Thy radiant face. Like a land bird that finds no solid object to alight upon when it is out to sea, I am lost when I leave Thee and find no place of safety for my misguided soul. My life is wrapped up in Thee and in Thy protecting love. Hold me by my hands and guide me, and I will follow Thee wherever Thou dost lead me. I will serve Thee to the ends of my life, till Thou dost call me back from my earthly sojourn to my final rest and repose in Thee. heartfelt words, challenging words. Let us just allow our heart embrace the energies of those words. My life of the Spirit is impoverished when I neglect communing with Thee. And what's so interesting is over the last few nights we've been talking about the different types of spirit. The callous spirit, the impulsive spirit, and today we share with you a few thoughts about a fearful spirit. In the Christian Bible, in the New Testament Bible, of Luke chapter 8 verse 24, we read, "They came to him saying, 'Master, Master, we are perishing. We are perishing.'" And guess what? The Bible says he got into a boat with his disciples and he said to them, "Let us cross over to the other side of the lake." And they launched out. I want you to picture this, a tranquil lake, Lake Michigan, Lake Geneva, Lake Ontario, or wherever you are in the world. I'm sure you're familiar with the beautiful lake. In Ireland, the lakes of Blessington, 7 beautiful lakes, all interwoven, or the lakes of Killarney. And there you get into the boat with the Master. Can you imagine it? We're all in this little boat, a fishing boat. And we're excited, but it's dark. And Jesus is in the boat. And he's saying, "No, don't go left. We're familiar with that. Excuse me, let's go right. Let's go through that dark bit. Let's have a go. Are you up for it?" "Yes, I am." "Well, let's see what happens." And they launched out, but as they sailed, the Master fell asleep. The Christ fell asleep on the boat. And guess what happened next? And a windstorm came. Would you believe it? A windstorm. A mighty storm came and tossed the boat to and fro. And the waves were so big, no sooner was it going up, it was going down. They were feeling seasick. They were frightened. They were in fear of their life, as we are in real life when things go wrong. And the Master was still asleep. And they were getting angry. Why would God sleep when we need him? But they didn't ask him. They presumed that he would intervene. But that's not the plan. God does not intervene in your life when you are struggling up to your tonsils. He waits for you to use your gift of free will and say, "Hello, are you at home? I need help." But the disciples were impetuous and they were fear-driven. They feared for their life with the storm and the winds, throwing them across the boat, landing at the feet of the Master. Picture it. It's a very good meditation when you're stressed and everything is going against you. And And they said, Master, Master, we are perishing. They were shaking him. We're going to drown. Then he arose from sleep, and he rebuked the wind and the raging of the waters on the lake. And what happened next? Yes, it became calm. Everything returned to normal. But was it normal for you when your back is to the wall and things are not panning out as you had planned in your head? Well, the disciples had other ideas. And he said to them, where is your faith? Fancy sitting in a boat with God and you're frightened out of your wits because things are not going your way. And he says, O ye of little faith. He says that to me. Oh yes, he does. There's days like on Monday here when the building inspector came to check on the work of the builders, when we're having our garage converted into an extension of the kitchen, and he smelled gas where the builder had accidentally dislodged some of the gas pipe through the drilling of the concrete on the previous Saturday. And the builder was to sort it out but didn't, because he's so laid back that if he fell over he'd crack his skull. Forgive me, that's the way we say things here. And he didn't see the sense of urgency. And at that moment, when the building inspector said to me, contact him now and get him to come here and sort this out, this is an emergency. He was instilling fear inside me that I should be afraid, when my trust was in God, that nothing harmful would happen to me. And nothing harmful did, but I was aware that I was being put under pressure against my better judgment. But I realized that I called on God when I knew the problem existed, and I asked God to resolve it, and He did. 3 hours later. And the 3 hours of waiting was like those on the boat, like you may be, when things are not going your way. Fear steps in. You begin to question, you begin to get angry, maybe impatient, maybe angry with God. Why aren't you there for me when I need you? You know I love you. How could you do this to me? But God is still waiting for you to ask for help. And God expects you to trust for that help to come. But the society we live in is a society beset with high performance, impatience, lack of trust. Often greed prevents a lot of people coming back to their God in love. They become so filled with their own worry and fear and self-importance that they alienate their heart from the God who loves them, from the God who will provide for them if they just wait patiently in trust. So what does it say in St. Luke's Gospel? But he said to them, where is your faith? And they were afraid and marveled, saying to one another, who can this be? For he commands even the winds and the water, and they obey him. Are we missing something? Who is this man? Who is this man? Notice what is at work in the story, a fearful spirit. No matter how often God blesses you and me and answers our prayers, we still give in to fear the next time we face a crisis, especially when it's one we haven't faced before, such as unemployment, a change of our job description where we work, a change in relationships, maybe a change of address, a change of country or county, a change of religious belief and practices. It could be a multiplicity of things that could instill fear. Who told the disciples to get into the boat in the first place? Jesus. Who asks you and me to step out of our comfort zone and embrace the marginalized? Jesus. Who invites you to be still and to ask God for help and wait patiently? Jesus. Understand this, faith does not exempt you or me from life's storms, and trust me, the storms of the gas leak on Monday was more than enough for one day. It was quite a challenging day. It equips you to go through them, the gift of faith. Jesus knew the storm was coming before the disciples ever stepped into the boat. Jesus, the Son of God, the cosmic Christ, knows you by name, knows how many hairs are on your head. Oh yes, and even though I don't have many on my head, He knows exactly what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, when I'm afraid, when I'm sad, when I'm troubled, when I'm ill, when I'm depressed and despondent, when I'm fed up of trying to reassure people who are living in fear to trust their heart, and they won't listen. They don't listen to their heart because they know better than you. Yeah, I find that a lot now from my online ministry of trying to befriend those who contact me for words of support, for words of love that will nurture their heart back into alignment with their God of abundance. And their prayers get answered. And then we're back to square one again. We're on this roller coaster, ups and downs, highs and lows. But that's the journey of the pilgrim. If everything was plain sailing, then we wouldn't enjoy the richness of living, would we? We need the blips in daily living, in our life experiences, because it brings variety, it brings stimulus, it brings an awareness of our vulnerability and our need for God. And today, in this modern high-tech world where you can do everything on a mobile phone, you can make it sing, you can make it dance, you can make it pray to you, but you can't make it love you. And sadly, technology has become the new god of fear, because it feeds into a mindset a lot of negative information about war and trouble and rape and robbery and murder. The mind, the heart of God is being bombarded with negative information, and at times there's overload. The heart is trapped in fear. the heart becomes cold, callous, vindictive, manipulative, as we're seeing in Syria. The mind games that people are playing, and it's the innocent children of God who are at the mercy of those seeking revenge. We go on to read, and when you are in the will of God, when you are living the life you should be living, and you are in the will of God, in the place where God wants you to be, wait for it. No storm, however severe, no tragedy, however tragic, no disappointment, however life-threatening, will take you away from the beloved. And I found that to my own cost when I look back on my life. Is that where you are now? Afraid? Afraid to trust your heart, afraid to trust that inner voice that is God speaking to you. Do not be afraid. Trust in me. I am your God. I am the one who formed you in your mother's womb. Let us be still now. Let us come to that place. Let us be still in the presence of God, a God of love, a God who would never hurt you deliberately, a God who does not send you suffering or pain. We bring that on ourselves, and yet we curse God. Interesting. Let us relax. Let us be still in the presence of the cosmic Christ, and let us share for the first time in our life our truth. Because God is present here. He's listening to you now. He's watching you because He loves you. Your Father, Mother, God love you. And you dare to know better than God. And when you embrace fear and allow fear destroy the equilibrium of God's love within you, it's tantamount to saying, I do not believe in a God of love. I do not want to be rescued or saved by the love of God. So leave me be in my fear. And God will respect you and let you stew in your fear. And wait till you hit rock bottom again, and then suddenly you will realize that you were wrong. I was wrong many years ago when I made some pretty wrong decisions, and I paid the price, and I repented. And each day I begin my day by saying, Lord, give me the strength to do your will this day, to work with you, to keep my ego at bay, to love you more than life itself, and to trust you. Even in the middle of a gas leak, I will trust you, because I know I am protected, and I know I'm loved. Do you know that? Do you know that you are loved, protected? Well, you are. You are. You're a child of God. Let no one take that from you. No one. No one has the right to take that from you, only you. So fear is an illusion. It feeds off your energy, God's energy. And the more you allow fear dictate to you, it causes soul entrapment.